bringing the field down as we start the Winston West here at Riverside, California. The 60th road race in NASCAR Winston Cup Grand National history. It dates all the way back to Linden, New Jersey in 1954 when Al Keller won a race in a Jaguar owned by the old band leader Paul Whiteman. It's a whole new look today. A grand finish to the season, battling for 2nd through 10th in the standings. A lot of resolution to be made here. About $2 million at stake. Here comes the pace car onto pit road. Again, the front row as we prepare for action. Richmond and Waldrop will be into turn number 1 first. Jumping out in front as they go into turn 1. It is Tim Richmond. Waldrop back to 2nd. Bodine falling to 3rd. As they make their way toward the S's.
Richmond got a great jump off of turn 9. He got out in the lead. As I thought Walter may have a shot at leading the race, but Richmond's out front. Let's see if he can run away with it.
Here they are up through the S's, headed for that very treacherous turn number 6. Tim Richmond for the moment. There you see Waldrop in 2nd, Richmond leading. Bodine back there in that 3rd position. Ricky Rudd in 4th, Elliott in 5th. As they wind around turn number 6. Turn 7 is not used on this 2.6-mile configuration. You might wonder how they get from 6 to 8. Well, it's a little dipsy-do that is left out of this course. Here they are around the negative camber, turn number 8, and into the long back straightaway. You can really wheel down through here.
Richmond opened up about a 3-car length lead. Jeff Bodine goes for 2nd place beside Darrell Waltrip.
There's Terry Labonte on the move. Richard Petty very confident that he's going to have a good today. Right up there among them as they scoot down into turn number 9. You just want to test the brakes a little before you get in here, and you drive with the driver's door up against the wall, which is totally different from what you do anywhere else.
It sure is, and it's a very strange feeling, and it's something you have to get used to. Jeff Bodine did take 2nd place from Darrell Waltrip.
And as they come by to complete lap number 1 of the 119 to be run, it will be Richmond in 1st, Bodine in 2nd, Waltrip in 3rd, Ricky Rudd is in 4th, Elliott is in 5th, Labonte is in 6th, up to 7th moves Dale Earnhardt. Richard Petty comes in 8th. Joe Ruttman is in 9th. And here you are in the Aluguard car as they rock through the dust out here, just kicking up this track. And it has not rained, so it's very dry. And there'll be a lot of blind driving other than around the corners here today.
It sure will, Ken. And the big thing about that is when you run off the track, you can throw little pebbles, little dirt up on the racetrack, and that causes a lot of punctured tires.
Raymond Beagle's car. Rusty Wallace aboard out of Missouri around turn number 6. And they continue to scatter stones and dust up at him here.
That's a little short shoot right there between turn 6 and 8. That eliminates turn 7.
Back they come into the long straightaway, and here are the teammates going after each other. In fact, all 3 of them will be teammates, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd for Rick Hendrick next year. Here's that 3rd place car, Waltrip, and look who's knocking on his door. It's Ricky Rudd, the defending winner here at Riverside, California in this event, trying to move in on Darrell Waltrip.
You have a number of very accomplished road racers up there towards the front. We have a pass for the lead. Move. Jeff Bodine on the inside. Through the dirt.
Right down on the bottom. Car number 5 just squeezes in there. And Bodine goes out in front.
Richmond has lost the lead momentarily here, but he scored the first of a number of minor victories of the day. He has led a lap. Remember, there's a 5-point bonus for that in Winston Cup racing. He came into this event trailing Darrell Waltrip in that crucial race for 2nd place by 21 points. He's picked up 5. The difference is now just 16 points in the race for 2nd place, and they're all over this racetrack, Ken.
Now reviewing a little further down in the standings. Petty is in 8th, Bobby Allison to 9th, Rusty Wallace is in 10th. Neil Bonnet currently is shown in 11th position. Field moves back to turn number 6. And this dust can be a real problem. They had actually hoped they might get just a tad of rain to kind of straighten things out in there. Some of those drivers use up a lot of racetrack. It's interesting to watch them through the S's here. A guy like Waltrip hardly moves the steering wheel, and Tim Richmond uses every bit of it.
Ken, it should be required for everybody coming to Riverside to watch the race to go over and watch them go through the S's. It's some sight to see.
And there are so many different styles used here. A lot of guys use up a lot of racetrack and a lot of the turf as well. Petty is one of them. He uses up all the track and a little bit more. Richard Petty running in 8th and solid there. Here come the leaders another time. Moving down is Richmond. Let's see if he'll make a counterattack. He pulls up, starts to drive underneath, and there is no place to go as Bodine holds on. And the Hendrick cars, those Chevrolets, stay 1st and 2nd.
It's extremely difficult to pass somebody on the outside through turn 9. The inside is definitely the way to go. Richmond is right up on Bodine's bumper.
Here they are out of turn number 9. Remember that as you come off there, you have the driver's door flush against the wall. a sensation these guys aren't used to and don't really relish.
It's basically single file through the S's there. You saw Tim Richmond following Jeff O'Dine. There's really only one way through there, and that's straight.
Back to the inside. Richmond seems to be able to hug a little closer to the bottom of the racetrack, and he may be willing to let Bodine go up there for a moment or two. Although on this track, I think you'd want it as clear as much as you possibly can get it. Any slight miscue, and there's one where time after time we have seen people slipping and sliding. And as they come down into the main straightaway, Bodine pulls away by 4 or 5 car lengths. The Nelson prepared car. Harry Hyde, who always built great qualifying setups for racers, not only got his car out here and just blitzed the record by 1 mile and 8, but he came right back, and in practice yesterday, Phil, I thought he had about a half second on the field on race setup.
I do too. He was by far the quickest car in practice, but Jeff O'Dine is doing the job right now, but Tim Richmond can stay right with him, so I think Tim may just be saving the car a little bit.
Now remember, along with the $400,000 purse, there are so many other things to be decided here as these guys key in on the banquet at the Waldorf Astoria coming up in December. There's Richard Petty being challenged by Joe Ruttman. Ruttman taking a shot and not getting through there. Rusty Wallace continues to run in 10th, and we'll be back with more of the action from Riverside, California in a moment.